Does the heart ever truly heal from the love it has lost, or does it wander endlessly in search of what was taken? Two women, bound by a grief they could never fully relinquish, found themselves entwined in a tale of sorrow and redemption. One, a young princess whose love was stolen by a mysterious force. The other, a woman whose dreams had been shattered by a cruel fate. Both were victims of a relentless curse carried by the whistle wind, a mournful spirit that, with each prince's wedding day, swept across the land, tearing love apart and leaving behind only broken hearts. But on one fateful day, when Prince Tayo, the last remaining heir, vanished on his wedding day, his bride, Princess Adatola, decided she would not stand by and do nothing. With her heart full of sorrow, but her spirit unyielding, Adatola swore an oath to find her beloved Tayo and break the curse that had tormented her land for so long. Princess Adatola embarked on a journey that took her across vast deserts, through dense forests, and over towering mountains. She faced many trials and encountered strange creatures, each more daunting than the last. Yet, her love for Tayo and her determination to save him pushed her onward. Finally, after many moons of travel, Adatola came upon a dark, foreboding cave hidden deep within a forgotten forest. The air around the cave was eerily still, and the trees whispered of secrets long kept. Summoning her courage, Adatola stepped inside. The cave was dimly lit, and the air was thick with the smell of herbs and something else she could not quite place. As she ventured deeper, she heard the sound of gentle bubbling. Following the sound, she came upon a woman, ancient and worn, stirring a large bubbling pot. The woman's eyes glowed with a strange light, and as she stirred, a soft whistle escaped the pot and danced through the air, disappearing into the darkness. "Who are you?" Adatola demanded, her voice steady despite the fear gnawing at her. The old woman looked up, her face lined with sorrow and bitterness. "I am Amara, the keeper of the whistle wind," she said, her voice carrying the weight of countless years. "And I am the one who has taken your prince, just as I have taken all the others before him." Adatola's heart clenched with both fear and anger, but she forced herself to remain calm. "Why do you do this? What have the princes of Zivanga done to deserve such a fate?" Amara sighed deeply, her expression softening for a moment as she looked into the past. "Many years ago, I was to marry a prince," she began. "He was the love of my life, and we were to be wed. But because I was born into a poor family, the king deemed me unworthy. He banished me from the kingdom, and in my despair, I sought refuge in this cave." She paused, her eyes narrowing as they filled with a dark resolve. "In my grief, I found a way to control the whistle wind, a force as old as the earth itself. I used it to steal the princes of Zivanga from their brides, just as my own prince was stolen from me." Adatola's heart ached for Amara, but she knew that this cycle of pain had to end. "You were wronged, Amara, but you have wronged so many others in return. This curse must be broken. The princes must be returned to their homes and their loved ones." Amara's eyes flashed with anger, but Adatola held her ground. "If you continue this path, there will be no end to the sorrow. You will be forever alone, your heart consumed by bitterness. Let go of your pain, and perhaps you can find peace." Amara's hand trembled as she clutched the spoon she used to stir the pot. For a long moment, she said nothing, and Adatola feared that her words had fallen on deaf ears. But then slowly, Amara nodded. "You are wise beyond your years, child," Amara said quietly. "Perhaps it is time to let go." With a final decisive movement, Amara tipped the pot over, spilling its contents onto the ground. The cave filled with a sudden, intense wind that howled and screamed as if in protest, but then it was gone, leaving a profound silence in its wake. The darkness lifted, and the cave was filled with a soft, warm light. Before Adatola's eyes, the figures of the missing princes began to materialize, including her beloved Tayo. Tears welled up in Adatola's eyes as she rushed into his arms. The other princes, now free, turned to Amara with expressions of gratitude and pity. "Return to your home, Amara," one of them said gently. "The kingdom you once knew has changed, but there may still be a place for you." Amara smiled sadly. "Thank you, but my time in this world is over. My heart has been heavy with sorrow for far too long." With that, she began to fade away, her form dissolving into the air like mist at dawn. The last thing Adatola heard was Amara's soft voice whispering, "Thank you for helping me find peace." Adatola and Tayo returned to Zivanga with the other princes, and the kingdom rejoiced at their return. The curse was broken, and the whistle wind was no more. The people of Zivanga learned of Amara's story, and though her actions had brought great pain, they remembered her with compassion, knowing that her own suffering had driven her to such lengths. Adatola and Tayo were finally wed in a grand ceremony that filled the kingdom with joy. As they exchanged their vows, the wind blew gently through the trees, a peaceful whisper that seemed to carry Amara's final blessing. And so, the kingdom of Zivanga thrived once more, with love and forgiveness prevailing over sorrow and revenge.